Hey everyone, welcome back to the One More podcast. I'm here with the special guest. We have Cole. Blake is not that special because he's always on here, so I'm just kidding. I have to keep. I feel
gotta
like
keep things even.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I feel like I haven't laid one on in a while, so might as well get it while it's hot. Anyways, so we're here. Got some topics, some very controversial topics, some very interesting topics, and just kind of more conceptually speaking. So let's just jump into it, guys. So first question, and I'll kind of expand on it, but headline, what are you guys excited about?
Like currently?
Yeah,
I am.
What's going on in your life that you are positively thinking about?
The Avengers Infinity War box set is coming out tomorrow, and I cannot
What is included
wait.
in the box set?
I think it's just all special features, deleted scenes.
A real Infinity Gauntlet.
Wait,
Oh,
is
that'd
it
be
really?
so fucking cool. Oh, I'd wear
That'd
that
be pretty cool.
all the time.
Right.
But no, I am hoping that once Phase 4 is over,
Mm-hmm.
that they're gonna have like this big set of all 22 movies.
Ooh,
Mhm.
that'd
Oh,
be really cool.
that would be so badass. Or hold on, Infinity War was 20, so 23 movies because you got to include Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel and Infinity War.
So
Two.
this is going to be like a $300 bundle
Yeah,
package?
I probably buy it.
Oh, okay.
Not even gonna
Really?
lie. Mhm.
Even if it's like triple digits?
Yeah,
Okay. What would be the maximum amount of
I wouldn't go
Costage.
over. I wouldn't go over 200. I wouldn't.
Okay. All right. And
I feel like that'd be a $300 thing though.
Well,
that's just the
then
number
I'm
in my
not.
head.
No, that's the
$300.
number I'm
That's
got.
it. Blake's,
That's
hey,
it.
Blake buys it now. He's a hypocrite.
Kevin Feige, if you're listening, I'm not going over 200.
The Evangelion Blu-ray set was like $500.
Was it
What?
really?
Japan, yeah.
Wow.
Oh my
well, but
gosh.
that was like a huge cultural
Oh, yeah, that-
impacted TV show or anime. Sorry,
Right.
TV
It
show.
came with the 26 episodes and the 2 movies.
Mhm. Okay,
and-
so
on Blu-ray.
Golly.
but I mean, I'm sure you could find some like Lord of the Rings level props and stuff like that, or whatever
yeah.
movie stuff that go pretty expensive. So it's not uncommon for things to
But
be.
that's 24 movies. That's a lot. It'd be like buying.
True.
Well, that's the thing that I saw
And all
a
the-
James Bond box set, and they have
Mhm.
like 50 movies,
Mm.
and that one was only like $99.
yeah,
And
but who
so,
likes James Bond? Well,
I'm a big fan.
no,
of,
that doesn't count.
of 007.
Well, no, I mean, I either way, I think we're getting a little deterred off the point I was trying to make. But Cole, I mean, we just totally you were just
asked.
talking about wanting to talk about movies some more. So, Cole, anything you're particularly excited for?
On the topic of movies, the new Godzilla.
Okay.
Just because I love Godzilla and I love the American one that
Mm.
came out. I didn't think it was amazing, but
Sure.
I like Godzilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm starting a bunch of new classes on storyboarding and
awesome.
concept art and stuff. And
That's awesome.
I'm hyped for that. So
And when does that start? Remind me.
as soon as I get back, so next week.
Wow.
is
Okay.
when
Cool.
I'll be
Awesome.
starting. Yeah.
So yeah, I start my classes. I think not this week, but the next week, on Monday and Mondays and Wednesdays. So pretty excited for that. Other than that, for me, I guess we're gonna start talking about me for a second. I think the new games coming out, so like Fallout 76, I'm excited for, and Red Dead Redemption 2. So
that does look cool.
Is
You
the first
showed
one
me.
good? Because I need to play the first one.
the first one was really good. It was fun. It was interesting, especially at the time. I think it was like a kind of the poster child for video games.
And that's
of,
like the spaghetti western one.
Well, I mean,
kind
not
of.
spaghetti western, but like it definitely is the traditional western.
Okay,
so, that one was good. And then Red Dead Redemption 2, they were talking about it, and we watched a trailer for it earlier, and ooh boy, it looks super awesome. Well, I'll have to show you a snippet of it.
Please
so,
do. I'm
very
excited.
very interesting. Anyways, so excited. So I think people are. It's very interesting to see what people do, how to explain their emotions and to kind of show their inner core and their inner depths of who they are as a person, whether it's anger, happiness, whatever it is, sadness, how they handle it and how it affects them. And what I find that's just genuinely interesting is how people share information, whether it's their passions or what they're excited about, or if it's just general knowledge. So it's like, what do you guys do in regards to sharing things that you like, or if you're sharing music or movies or whatever it is, what's kind of your process with introducing it to like your friends or just whoever, if you're at a party or something and you're just you have something that's, oh man, I just got this new game, or I just got this new picture or whatever. I took a great picture. Like, how do you guys share that or kind of express those levels of happiness to other people?
Well, it depends, right? So if somebody hasn't seen, The Dark Knight,
Mm-hmm.
and that movie has already had a bunch of hype behind it, and I know that 9 times out of 10, every person I'm going to talk to is going to think it's awesome.
Right.
Then I'm going to say, oh, you've got to fucking see this. You've
Okay.
got to, or you've got to listen to this band. You've got to listen to Led Zeppelin. You've got to watch The Dark Knight or whatever.
So like kind of a more forward.
Yes, but I understand that if I were to show somebody No Country for Old Men, one of my favorite movies, they would not view it the same way as I would. So I would be very careful in saying, look, I think it's awesome. And I would say it won this award, it has these actors in it.
Okay.
And I would be so down to watch it with you whenever you want, because it's so awesome. I love that movie, or I love this band. Like Alice in Chains is kind of a niche band.
Sure.
Not a lot of people like them, and if they do, they love them, kind of thing. And so I'm very cautious with some of the stuff.
Do you find that you're almost just justifying why it's a good thing to people, or do you?
Yeah,
I'm
selling them on something, right? So,
right. And so, but I mean, do you find it that they're more likely to? Oh, I'm totally for it. I'll check it out. Or do you need to do the selling to?
I need to, because I'm constantly talking about music and movie. Like, it'd be different if I was trying to sell somebody on a movie that's like a guilty pleasure of mine, you know? Like, if I were to try to sell somebody on the Suicide Squad,
right?
Like, it's, they'd be like,
yeah, right.
I don't know.
Okay.
So you've got to, that is a hard sell,
For sure.
So I would have to, hey, it's fun. Don't get your hopes up. It's fun. Just go into it with a good attitude, kind of thing.
Okay. Cole, do you anything different or similar to Blake?
I mean, basically the same, but it depends on each and every person.
Okay.
Who I'm talking to. Like for you, I don't say anything half the time. I just drop you a link. You know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah, that's very true.
And then for other people, I'll just be like, hey, I really like this kind of stuff, and they already know kind of what I like, so that will be enough information.
Okay.
And other people in a conversation, like when I first met you and we were discussing different movies and stuff, we kind of explained why.
Right.
Okay.
So.
All right. It's just the concept, I think, is because, and as when I asked you, Blake, about the self-justification stuff, it's it's interesting when it's like, okay, it's such a and I want to bring up Cole. We went to a concert last night. Is the band is called Ninja Sex Party. Yeah. So and we played the music and stuff like that. It's such an interesting dynamic to say, okay, this is good music. We enjoy it. It's fun. It's funny. It's great. But then when you have this excitement for it and you're like, okay, I have to share this with somebody. I have to, I want to share. You're very particular. At least for me, I'm very particular with what songs I share. Yeah. With what to kind of not, I want to show them the whole band, obviously, because if they need to like the whole band to keep listening to the band. But it's very, when introducing stuff to people, it's very, okay, listen to this song, listen to the Undercovers, because those are the more traditionally more serious songs that they're doing.
Yeah.
The same thing with like Pink Guy. So with Evan, I shared a certain selection, not like the really garbage, like horrible sound music that he makes. I didn't do that for Blake. I just threw Blake into the trash music.
Oh my gosh.
But with Evan, like you actually played some of the bangers and like the enjoyable songs. So do you guys do that as well, or is it kind of take it as a whole, here, like it or you don't otherwise?
Well, I look at it as somebody that is constantly getting new music thrown at them because I'm just such a huge fan, and my arsenal of music that I listen to is really diverse.
Fair.
And so I'll like, if somebody were to show me the whatever you showed me.
Yep. We'll censor it for now, just so we don't make people uncomfortable.
But that, I immediately was like, this is fucking horrible. I hate this. Like, I don't get it. I'm sure if you showed me some of the other stuff, I could wrap my head around it and go, all right.
No, once you heard the bad stuff, that's about it.
Well, no, but like, so if I were to show you, like, let's take an example. I'm going to keep talking about this band because I love them. Led Zeppelin, okay?
Wait, no, you mean Greta Van Fleet?
Fine, Greta Van Fleet. I could show you Stairway to Heaven. I could show you Kashmir. I could show you Whole Lotta Love. I could show you Rock and Roll. I could show you those 4 songs that everybody that's been staples in rock and roll. Or I could show you something that's a little bit more obscure. Yeah. Like I could show you Days to Confuse. I could show you You Shook Me, or Misty Mountain Hop, or Moby Dick, or all of those songs that you have to really enjoy the band in order to get behind those songs.
Okay.
Otherwise, but anybody can get behind Stairway to Heaven because it's such a staple of classic rock.
Right.
And so it's the same for movies, right? So if I was a big fan of the new DC movies, which we'll talk about all that later. That'd be a whole hour by itself. But if I was a big fan, I would have to show you the best one out of the bunch. Like, I couldn't show you something horrible.
Sure.
Suicide Squad.
I couldn't show you Suicide Squad. I would have to show you, which, man, it's fucking hard trying to choose a good movie. I'd have to show you Wonder Woman first.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman's
I'd have to show you the only good movie in the universe.
Right.
So
you think that just that is an easier transition of, okay, now welcome to the whole franchise.
Yeah, it's
itself.
like whenever you show people Star Wars, you don't start off with the prequels. You don't.
Okay, fair.
You start off with Episode 4.
Sure.
That gets.
I mean, you could though.
You
could start with
could.
the worst and say, if you like that at all, you'll love.
Yeah, but
the
then
other
you
ones.
risk shutting the person out
Right.
completely. Like, I tried to bring my girlfriend over to the Star Wars side, and I showed her the first episode, or Phantom Menace, and she fell asleep right after, because prequels are just people walking around with lightsaber fights. That's all it is. We're just walking around talking behind blue screens. Like, she fell asleep. And I had to wake her up for the Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan fight.
Right.
I knew she was not gonna like if she fell asleep during this Star Wars.
So this brings up something interesting, but first I'm going to say this other thing.
Okay,
Transition
go
to
for it.
So like with music, I like to share a mix. The popular ones, of songs I think people will like, but also ones more not necessarily obscure, but I personally like, so they kind of get a taste of why I like them, plus why the mass likes them.
Okay.
I think that's a way to make it a bit more personal when sharing those kind of things.
Sure.
But so transitioning, but still in the excitement realm. So when your girlfriend fell asleep, like, how did you feel?
I was pissed.
Right.
I was
Okay.
pissed.
Yep.
Not because she fell asleep, but because I knew I should have started at episode 4. I knew I shouldn't have started her off with something horrible, because Star Wars is already something that some people have trouble wrapping their heads around.
Yeah.
Space wizards with laser swords. Like, good luck.
Bro, I'm sold on that.
Good luck,
Give me
right?
Space Wizards with laser
If you're not
swords.
brought up with it from a kid, and you're not almost indoctrinated in
You haven't
whatever
played the video games and
whatever music or movies or video games that you like, or sports, then it's going to be hard to get somebody to really fall in love with whatever you're trying to show them.
See, I think it's interesting seeing how you react when you're super excited about something and someone kind of rejects that excitement.
Yeah, it's
I
like they're
don't handle
rejecting
that very
you.
well.
With
It's like, oh,
with music and stuff, I really don't care if someone doesn't like it. I go, all right, we each have different tastes. That's completely fine.
No, that's not fine.
But with other things, it like almost feels personal.
Almost.
Like, I recommended movies to you all, and at this point, I don't care. It's just a meme between us.
right.
But
Hurtful.
when I recommended those movies, and he's like, "Yeah, kind of sure, I'll watch them," and then he never did. I'm like, I want to share this
Hey.
experience
I don't
with you,
know-
and
I
he
don't know
went.
what you're
and
talking
Feel
I
the
was
same
like,
way I feel,
I
please.
don't know
Yeah,
what
and
you're
I
talking
was
about.
like, man, I was so excited to
Movies.
share this.
This is the first time I'm
thing.
hearing of it.
And
I'm not a
he just
horrible
kinda
person.
completely-
I'm a good friend.
and that's fine.
I
I'm
li-
over
I
it.
listen.
I'm not over it. But you know what I mean? So
I
it's-
know exactly what you mean.
It's interesting.
I definitely don't handle that well at all. I'm
Really?
very much so. And then again, calling back to I'm justifying it a lot. I very much try and set the expectation of, okay, this is what you're gonna see. You can either really, really enjoy it like I do, or you're gonna you're gonna recognize that it's a type of humor, whether or not you like it or whether or not you appreciate it. There's this respectable level, and so I try and make those lines very clear. Like, again, I'll use Evan as an example. On YouTube, there's the 10-minute Power Hour with the Game Grumps. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they're like a Let's Play group.
Okay.
So they'll make jokes and talk about stuff while playing video games. So they started a different series where they essentially just kind of, it's a sketch, sort of almost sketch based.
Is this the
show.
one where they had the thing in their mouth? And
Yes,
Okay,
that
yeah.
was
Got it.
that was the episode where they were playing whatever, guess the word or something. I don't remember what the thing's called. But so I was very hesitant to introduce him to that because Evan had never really had shown interest in Game Grumps before. So I was like, okay, got to be careful about this. So picking which ones are funny, whatever. So, because if he would have said, oh no, this is not for me, I would have been like, bro, bro.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
what
are you talking about?
It's for everybody.
So, I don't know. And I mean, not to say like I'll mope about it and be super depressed for days and days if you say
Right.
that you don't like this one song of this one band. Hence, like why I'm okay with Blake still being my friend. You know, he's rejected so much of my love for music and love for
What?
TV shows and stuff like that.
What are you talking about?
He hates The Office, and it hurts me so
I don't
much.
hate The Office. I just the cringe is too much.
Which is the point of it.
I know,
It
and I
really
just
is.
it makes me feel so uncomfortable. I can't watch
Oh,
it.
you can't
it's
watch
a-
Nathan For You then.
Oh,
I'm sure I can because there's some
It's-
cringe that I can enjoy.
It's but the whole
It's
but the thing
real,
is
unlike The Office.
real quick. Yeah,
Okay.
so it is very real reactions, genuine people.
Okay,
like,
that's different. That's like
Okay.
Jackass stuff, which I can kind of get behind. But it's
sort of, yeah.
But it's or like the hot dog in the pocket thing.
right. Okay,
I can get
The
behind
pranks,
that.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Okay,
But The Office, it's every episode,
True, yeah.
You know, Jim and Dwight aside, just
Right.
their dynamic, just everything else is
no,
just.
we don't have to talk about the audience. No, sure, of course, but
One thing that I do with music though, because you brought up a good point,
do.
is I will play a
How old are we?
song and I won't tell anybody who the artist is, what the song name is, and I'll just play it.
Mhm.
And then hopefully somebody's like, "Hey, what song is this?" or "Who is this?" And then I'll tell them, "Oh, it's it's Greta Van Fleet," or "Oh, it's
okay.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers," and
Sure.
they'll go, "Huh." And I'll do that a couple more times and
Mhm.
see if they like it or not. And if they do, then all right, let's
You test the waters.
Let's throw some out there.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's what I'll do with music, especially with Britney, because
Okay.
that's just how I listen.
No,
to
I mean
music.
that's definitely that's a very clever way of means of introducing, almost
Right.
subliminally.
Yeah.
Sending.
See
in
if you
those-
like it.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I think we kind of killed that topic. I don't know if you guys have any last minute.
I'm excited for life.
I am excited about life too. I think being quick serious note here. Being happy for life is good.
Isn't it awesome?
Always try and find some positives in life.
Mhm.
Hey, Colt, were you gonna say something?
Well, we kind of discussed excitement through like sharing things like music
Well,
and
I mean,
movies. Does
well,
that
I know
go
we
to,
totally,
like-
I know we totally kind of reworked the question, but it's
All right,
it still bases in the same principle where how you're, and I guess we probably, if this was just a question, we just answered it where when you're happy for something, when you have positive emotions and positive vibes for something, what are you going to do? Well, you want to share it, you want to show it off, and so we talked about the methods and the means of what you do, what kind of things that you share, what's the procedure that you go through that, and so I mean, sure, we probably could talk more about just
Like how about like you get a promotion at work? Like
right, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
how do you go about explaining? Because I'm gonna be like, "Holy shit! Everybody, listen up!
Yeah, of
this
course.
happened."
And some people celebrate and more quiet, more solace,
Right.
types of handling those emotions. So I don't know. I like the conversation where we tangent it off of. So I'm cool with moving on. And I guess if people want us to talk about it more, we can
Tell us what you're excited about.
Yeah, tell us what you're excited about. How you handle emotions. Is it more of a personal celebration? Do you celebrate it with other people?
Do you expect a specific response from people?
Yeah, exactly. So what does that conversation walk us through how that goes, and kind of go from there. Next thing that I want to talk about, and I know I can be accused of all sorts of horrendous things, is conversation etiquette. More primarily, at what point do you how do I phrase this? At what point do you put aside humanity for politeness? I think, if that makes sense at all. So let me explain. So
Yeah.
So at what point, as we're all humans, we have our flaws. We naturally have flaws. There will never be someone perfect. There's nobody perfect. And if you think that you're perfect, you're lying. There's a problem.
Jesus Christ.
Sure. Okay. So at what point where if you smell, or if you look funny, or if you have a trait or something, or you have some kind of quirk, whatever it is, a tick, however it is, at what point do you ignore that in conversation? So this is kind of an extreme example, but like someone who's handicapped, that's obviously something different. And it's when you go about it in conversation, at what point do you just say, okay, we're ignoring their handicapped, blah blah blah, but at what point does that come up? Do you acknowledge it? Do you bring it up? Do you verbally bring that up? So and I'm not trying to like focus specifically on the handicap, but go ahead.
Well, so my first reaction would be things that people can help versus what they can't help.
Okay.
You know, like if someone has something
That's
stuck
kind of
in
the
their
baseline.
teeth,
Okay.
or someone mispronounces a word, or I don't know. Like that's also two different levels versus like someone with acne or someone who just looks a certain way or is a certain way.
Okay.
Like,
so then I guess let me throw you this example if it's starting to make a little sense. So a while back, went to work, and whenever I walked into the office, and this is my fault that I guess realistically you can trace this back. This is my fault for letting it happen, but I was wearing a shirt, and the shirt had some crap on it, like not like literal crap, but like I think there was
had a cheese stain, a mustard stain,
whatever.
Some hummus on the collar.
I don't know. I think it was like because you Blake, you know, on the back of my Prius, for the trunk that has that rubber thing. Did you ever?
Yeah, your "Make America Great Again" bumper sticker.
No. Oh, did I say Trump? I meant trunk. Sorry. God, brain fart. So my trunk, it's got the button or whatever you click to open it up. It's got a rubber covering.
Oh, is it some of that black kind of rub off?
Yeah, and so that's like 10 years worth of sun damage and wear, and so whenever you lift it up, you'll get like some. It's just, I think it's just rubber or some kind of
essentially
compound.
just melted, decomposed rubber.
Right, exactly. So I think at one point I just wasn't thinking about it, and I just wiped it on my shirt, and I was walking into work. Didn't even think about it. Like totally just okay, whatever. So walked in, and one of my coworkers, I think we had to do something, or we had to talk about something, or whatever it was. We had to interact for the day. That normally I wouldn't necessarily have to interact with him, but we had to do something where we interacted. And we were talking, and then just not provoked, not prompted, he's just like, "Hey, you know, you have like some crap on your shirt right there. Like, what is that?" Like, what like totally just stopped the conversation. Just we were talking about something work related, and then he brings that up, and you know, middle school, high school Yuval would have totally been like butthurt and responded poorly, and totally would have just like freaked out, raged, because like, how dare you, blah blah blah, this is how could you, who are you to point out this flaw of mine that I may or may not have caused, you know, whatever. But you know, over the time I've grown to just say, okay, you know, whatever, roll with the punches, otherwise you're gonna get punched more. So but that totally like threw me off guard, where it's like, why? Who are you? Or okay, let's not make accusations here. In what situation would prompt the person to point something out like that? And is that a minor thing? Because I know in perspective that might be, he just might think that he's being helpful. But I even think that if you think you're being helpful, when it comes to someone's person and not impacting an immediate thing, right. So the gunk on my shirt is not going to immediately hurt anybody, or it might cost us anything. So at what point is that being helpful versus being a douche?
Well, I am very open to, if I got my fly down, or if there's mud on my jeans or whatever, let me know. Okay. I need to look good.
Sure.
Like, let me know.
And that's
if
fair.
I got something in my teeth, if one of my eyes is just kind of freaking out, you know,
sure.
Let me know, because that's not the norm that I obviously want, right? Okay. So please feel free to let me know.
Do you explicitly say that among friends and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Or like, okay. I
don't care. If I got some bears in the caves, like, just let me know.
Well, I think
it depends on the person, obviously. So like if some random dude on the street is like, "Hey dude, your hat's on crooked," like, go fuck yourself, you know, kind of thing.
Okay.
But if it's, you know, one of you guys, then it's like, "Oh shit, my bad." Zip.
Well, then okay, and then in this area, it sounds like that doesn't matter as much. But like thinking of other social circles, so like, what if someone corrected you or something like that? Like if you were talking and you said a word wrong, like, oh, go ahead.
Well, so with that, and this is actually now a genuine question. So at one point you said niche, and is it not niche?
It is niche.
It's niche.
It's niche.
I didn't.
Thanks, guys.
So no, well, but okay, all right. Well, it's just that also, because and I guess that might be a separate conversation. But like, for example, I say Trisquit, and because I just think it's funny, and
he also says hoity-toity. Okay. Can you comment? It's pronounced hotty-toddy.
I think it's hoity-toity. Cole, is it hoity-toity?
I say hoity-toity just for fun, but it's hotty-toddy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Comment below. It's hotty-toddy, not hoity-fucking-toity.
Yeah. And it's Trisquit.
Trisquit. But anyways, but like a long time ago, I said it, and then no one corrected me,
So
and then I
you just ran with it.
Exactly. So again, but does that fall under the if someone corrects you? So Blake, you don't care? That's still
I don't.
Okay.
I leave my
just
pride at the door if someone's correcting me. Like,
okay. What was it always like that for you?
No, I was
Okay.
always very stubborn. I'm still kind of am stubborn. But you know,
That
just
was a pretty
like
stubborn remark.
thank you. Just like when Sharon commented, and we're gonna get to that in a second. But when Sharon commented on, you know, whatever we were talking about in the bonus content, I'm not offended. When Brian comments and lets me know, hey, this is actually this, I'm not offended.
Okay.
Like it's not coming from a place of like this fucking asshole doesn't know what the fuck it, unless it is, then that's
okay.
rude.
I'm assuming
I
every
don't think
comment
it
and
is.
Stuff is
Right. It's coming from a place of, oh no, it's actually this. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Didn't know that. Thanks.
When it comes to like correcting people or just pointing that stuff out, like for me when I'm going to do it to someone, it depends on the person as well. Like if someone is a little more sensitive and it's not important, you know, it's not going to change.
He's not going to look like a idiot.
Right. Then I'll just leave it. I don't want to like embarrass them. But then for other people, like, you know, friends, I can point that out and it's cool. It's
Right.
fine, you know what I mean?
Already have that established connection there.
So like with your shirt thing, I'm trying to figure out what I make of that because like I already told you when we were talking about it before, if your like workplace had a dress code,
right,
and looking bad, like that would affect your image at work, then I think that's good. He was trying to point something out. But if it's just like, hey, your shirt's all messed up, and it's like,
well, see, he went about it the wrong way though, right? So you got to come about it like I would walk up to you whenever you're not around anybody. I wouldn't make a big scene, and I'd be like, hey, I don't know if you knew,
that
but
would be very grateful.
You had some black stuff. I don't know if you like that shirt or not, but you got some black stuff on there.
Okay.
Or like wait till the end of the conversation.
Yeah, and
like,
I think
hey,
I think that's respectable. I think that's okay when you handle it. That's situation because I think can we safely say universally no one likes to be called out, like just in public, like whether it's good, bad, whatever it is.
Good, no.
It's a you're put on the spot, and it's. I mean, some people are able to maneuver it very well, and they're able to bounce back and respond positively. But either way, you're going from a state of normalcy. To a state of
you're put on guard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, your back's up against the wall. What do you do here? Do I change my shirt? Do I go home?
Do I take it off and start screaming?
Do I get some club soda and I just wipe that off?
Right. So
do I put more on it and try to
just make the whole shirt black? Like
just totally change it. No, and so I think that's definitely fair too. And I try and adapt that as well. Is if it's like we're hanging out and there's like 5 or 6 people and one person's doing something, I definitely won't bring it up like oh hey, by the way, this whole night you've been saying butt when it's pronounced boot or something. I don't know. So no, I agree with that. So I think that's fair. But is there anything specifically outside of calling you out, outside of correcting you or whatever, that you would you would say is a no-go for kind of social etiquette? Sort of for
no
sake?
I will wait. Like, so let's take it to the handicap thing.
Okay,
I will wait for someone else to bring or for that person to bring it up.
Okay.
It's not my place to bring up the fact that you're missing an arm.
Okay, sure.
If you want to make a joke about how, hey, can you hand me that over there, ha ha ha, then I'll be like, by the way, what happened there?
Okay.
So
you're waiting for the ice to be broken, and then once it's established, okay. So, but then other than that, like, is there? So, if you're having a conversation with someone, and is there anything that this person would do during this conversation where you're like, "Whoa, bro, don't do that," or something?
Oh yeah, like if they insulted.
Cole, we can get to you. I know your face lit up whenever.
No, if they insult me like on a personal level, where I can tell that it comes from a place of like them trying to be mean.
Okay.
Like there are some times where I'll take it as, hey, why don't you back off for a second? But there are other times where I'll just try to spin it, like, or if somebody's like, hey, Blake, you're really gaining weight or whatever, then it's like, yeah, I know, I'm up to a B cup now or whatever. Like, I just got to play the room. That's how I look at it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so, like, if it doesn't affect anything, which goes back to what we're saying, I don't think there's any reason to point it out. Like, I've had people point out my acne. It's
really?
Like, what does that serve to the conversation? They're like, hey, did you know you have, like, some pimples? It's like...
No, I woke up, looked at it, and go, wow, my face is of molten rock now.
But even if I didn't know that, it's like, okay, I can't do anything about that. What are you trying to get from pointing that out? You know what I mean? And that I don't know where that's going.
No.
I say there.
I mean, it's fair. It makes sense. It's for the sake of you're having a nice day, or you could potentially be having a nice day. There's no reason where you're already battling with, you know, these things in your life. And I'm, you know, I would hope that I would hope that what's being called out is already is known to the person, because, oh goodness, that would be very horrible if you call something out and they're like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's where it comes down to stuff you can change about yourself and stuff that you can't, right? So, like, if you're really close friends with somebody, like I told you the story about Kendall, whenever he saw me in Christmas and he was like, yeah, bro, you've gotten really fat. Like, he's one of my best friends. He's got all the room in the world to tell me, hey, fat ass, you need to lose some weight.
Sure.
But if some random person came up to me on the street that I don't know, or it's somebody that I genuinely don't like, I'm not going to take it the same way.
Okay.
I'm going to take it with hostility.
Definitely fair. To the level of what hostility I would take it to just depends, again, on the situation. I guess it's very much like if I'm in the middle of a Jason's Deli and Blake's, you know, just like trying to make me eat food or something, and I'm just like, no, I don't wanna, and then some guy says eat fatty or whatever, then I'm probably not gonna. I don't know.
You gotta slug it out.
Yeah, we gotta
time to fight.
Take it outside
on
or
the salad
something.
bar.
Yeah.
Meet me by the free ice cream machine, bitch. You know?
But no. So, couple, I guess you can call them lightning questions, but I'm assuming I would know the answer to them. But do you guys have anything else?
No, just be nice.
Yeah, fair.
Just be genuine.
Sure.
Like, come from a place of love.
So in the social society, etiquette, normalcy world that we have concocted to live in, all these agreed upon rules and laws and bylaws,
mores and norms.
Yes,
and
exactly. Indeed, indubitably. Yes, indeed.
Quite.
Is it okay to call someone out for their weight,
They got
whether you know them or not?
You gotta.
Yeah.
You have to know them.
You have to. Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta
On
be
a
close.
personal level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So random strangers.
It's got to be close, and it can't be any girl.
Okay. All right. Smokers.
What are you calling them out for smoking?
Yeah, just like, hey, stop smoking. You're gonna
Random
die or
person,
something.
no. Live your own life. Do what you want. You know the consequences.
Person,
But-
you know, is that fair to ask of them?
Yeah, because that's
Or
life,
at least
that's,
states to them.
That's
that?
life
Depends
threatening.
on the person in general, I think.
Okay.
Because there's some people, like, I have a friend who smokes a lot, and I don't bother saying anything because he knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
kidding.
me saying, hey, you should stop smoking, everyone tells him that. So
Okay.
there's no purpose in me telling him that because he already knows my stance on it, and I'm not calling him out.
Last one, drinking. Alcoholics.
I can tell if somebody is an alcoholic or not. So, it's got to be, unless it's, so like there's a guy at work that is a uber alcoholic. I don't tell him how to live his life.
Okay.
It's
Fair.
not affecting my job. He's still doing his job fine.
Sure.
Everything's going
So what
in
happened-
syncopation.
we're
But
not-
if it's,
Oh, sorry. Oh, I was going to say, so what happens if it starts affecting work? And like,
Then
he's doing something and now you're having to work and cover his shift or not his shift, but like you're having to work more because he's slacking on his responsibilities.
then
Then
yeah.
you have a right to say something?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's affecting me. But if it's not affecting me or
Then-
somebody that I love and care about, then
L'chaim.
Your
It's
own
all
world.
good. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think, I mean, I don't know. It depends on the person, once again, of course, and stuff. But
Mhm.
if it seems like they need something, you know, like it maybe they're aware, but just they need some sort of extra
Oomph.
comment or something. So like
Yeah.
there was this dude I follow on Instagram, we're like mutuals and whatnot, and he was posting some things saying like, you know, I haven't eaten anything all in like 5 days, and I'm just not gonna, I don't
Right.
care to eat anymore and stuff. And I messaged him and I'm like, you know, I don't really know you, you know, we just follow each other, so I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you know, stay safe. You know,
Okay.
let me know if you need anything. It's all good.
Right.
You
Okay.
know?
So even kind of just on that sort of acquaintance level, do you think it's fair to put yourself in their life and say, hey, I'm here, or hey, or give advice or do whatever, like just any kind of interference?
Maybe not
Good
even
or
give
bad?
advice, but just let
Well,
them
just
know,
like-
like
Right. Make your presence known to them. That's
Right.
saying, hey, I'm a thing.
I think it could be, as long as you're not trying to insert yourself as someone who,
You can't be aggressive.
yeah,
Okay. That's fair. All right.
because
so-
I mean they responded with basically just, I appreciate it. You know,
Right.
thanks.
Sure, of course. Okay, so with that is the time for this current. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I had a quick question. That's in
Oh,
the same
sure,
kind
go
of
for it.
realm.
Let's do it.
Do you have any bad social habits? Like mine is interrupting. I've been wanting to interrupt this entire podcast, and I have to not do
Mhm.
that. I'm very bad at interrupting people.
I think I don't take people's opinions as closer to heart when I think I'm right. So it's like I will I'll talk about it, debate it, and like if we're having a constructive thing. But if you're doing something bad, and I know you shouldn't be doing that, I don't take your 2 cents as 2 cents. I take it as like 1 cent. So I don't know. And
Good to know.
Yeah, right. And I don't do it like as it's not. I'm making it sound as like super crazy or severe, but it's less drastic than I'm making it sound. I think it's just kind of in the back of my head. So it's not. I don't treat anybody differently. Peace, love, positivity, all the good stuff. So, but Blake, do you have anything?
Oh yeah, I joke around way too much.
Oh yeah.
I have a hard time knowing when to stop
Yeah.
being the person that's trying to make people laugh.
I've been trying to make Blake leave for the past 10 minutes now, and he has not gotten the.
Well,
I'm just
on
kidding.
a positive note, I do have to go to the bathroom, so you guys
okay.
go ahead.
Sure.
This is me leaving.
Well, no, Cole. Other than interrupting, anything, or is that your biggest peeve?
I mean, that's not a peeve,
but yeah, whatever.
I mean, I joke around a lot too,
Mhm.
but I feel like I'm fairly good at reading the room.
Okay.
And
So you're better than Blake, is what you're getting at.
yeah, yeah. No, but interrupting is just my thing. I'm very jumpy and impatient. That's about the excitement thing. I
Right.
get very excited in conversations.
Okay.
And my volume goes up, and I tend to.
Oh, for sure.
I
No,
don't-
I've definitely seen that before. Like when we're in a group of people, whenever we hung out like in high school or whatever, it was always like, oh, now Cole's got the floor. Like not like to make it sound, because you'd always have like good intentions. It was never like oh God, what does Cole have to say now? So no, I'm totally for you. So
yeah.
all right. So we'll cut to break, and then we'll come back and start answering questions. All right. See you guys in a little bit. And we're back. We're here to answer some questions, and we're on Reddit. So let's
do it. Yeah.
Let's just jump into it. Friend is posting some red flag stuff online. One of my friends, 18 male, has been posting some stuff that has raised alarm for people around. Some of his captions on his pictures are, "I want to feel happy, but just can't be. Sometimes I wish I wasn't alive," and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well,
Stuff like this has been going on for most of the summer, and he's not the typical person to be posting this. He's a muscular guy who loves to party, and people love to have him over. People confronted him about it, and he says it's all good and shrugs it off, but then he goes back to posting the depressing stuff. Blah, 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 blah. He also walked home from my house 4 to 5 miles in the middle of the night because he wanted to be alone. Not sure how concerned I should be, and looking for other ways I could approach the situation.
Cole, you want to take?
Oh, Cole.
I mean, well, reach out. It sounds like they've already reached out to a degree, but reach out and seriously be like, "Hey, I'm concerned. I know you say you're okay, but is there anything I can do for you? Is there something you want to talk about? Like, start a discussion."
Sure.
If they really are just, dismissing it and stuff, there's nothing you really can do unless you want to get other people in more aggressive,
like get everybody involved for like an intervention or something like that. Okay.
So I don't really know at that point what to do, but first step is reach out.
Okay. Blake, do you have a...
It's going to sound like an asshole, but it's not. I promise is not the way I want it to come across. It sounds like he wants attention. That's what it at least seems like to me. So he's posting stuff for everybody to see. In my experience with depression, most depressed people don't put all that stuff out there in the open unless it's attention seeking. They're like act like all the depressed people that I've ever come in contact with. The idea of expressing your feelings is very difficult, and getting that out in the open is very hard. At least that's just the people that I've ever known. And so you look for signs other than them blatantly saying on social media for everyone to see, "Oh, I wish I was dead," or "I'm just sick of being alive." It's just me though.
Almost kind of do an in-person analysis and figure out, how he's reacting to certain things.
Yes, obviously the dude needs something.
I think at any point, if you're posting about that kind of stuff, it warrants some kind of investigation.
Right.
Sure,
at least
absolutely.
some kind of attention.
So even if he is posting it just for the attention, the attention could simply be he wants someone to
Absolutely,
reach out.
and that's
the
what
starting point. Because
absolutely,
I would be worried if he's posting the stuff and then he's like, "No, I'm fine," and then stops posting it and suddenly starts kind of retreating into more of a well, like they walked however many miles or whatever
to be alone.
That would be worrisome.
That's a red flag. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take this guy for the actual feelings and harsh realities that's going on in his head for just throwing it out.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to look at it as this guy either needs help because he's depressed or he just needs someone to talk to and just a friend.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because a lot of times, at least with kids on social media, they're trying to paint this picture of who they want to look like. They almost romanticize what they're trying to be online. And so this guy obviously wants some sympathy, someone to say, hey, I completely understand what you're going through and I'm sorry, I'm here for you. Or, it's the latter, which is the guy just wants someone to say, hey, what's going on? I don't know. That's how I saw it.
I agree. I'm just gonna, I guess, reemphasize just that I would say just do an investigation, whatever you want to call it. Do something in person. If it just because they're posting this stuff online, you want to make sure that when you guys were hanging out. Did it seem normal? Did anything change when you guys were hanging out? Is he eating differently? Is he reacting a certain way differently to things? There's a mood shift. I think there's a whole lot you can do that's, outside of, hey, what's your problem, to just, comfort. Because if he's just working through things internally, then the best thing to do is just provide a safe and a level of support to be able to say, hey, this is a good place. This is a safe place. We can chill out. We can hang out. We don't have to talk. If you want to just come over and just watch a movie, because maybe that's why he wanted to be alone, was he felt there was an expectation to hang out and do stuff, and I have to be active in this conversation, and that's why he left. So if you explicitly say, look, man, if you want to just like vegetate and just chill out and not say anything, we could just put something on the TV, or we can just put music on, then do that. And I think that'd be definitely fair. Take steps outside of trying to fix the problem that could potentially have some positive experience in life. Because I know personally, when I'm having an issue and I'm having I'm having sad feelings or whatever, or if something didn't go my way or whatever it is, it's nice, and it's very, very, very appreciated when people reach out and say, hey, are you okay? What's going on? You want to talk? Blah blah blah, whatever. But for the most part, I would just I remember Blake, we were supposed to go out or something like that, and I just got like this overwhelming, just, okay, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to chill, I don't want to go out, I want to I'm not feeling well, I'm not whatever it was, and then you just came over and we just sat and watched a movie. Like, we just chilled on the couch, and then I think like halfway we were watching Ragnarok, and halfway through the movie I just like perked up and I was just like, okay, I'm good, like I'm feeling better, and I really much appreciated that, just being there, so that I can work through my shit or think about it, process it, whatever it is. Then I think that's something great that people can do, for sure. So
yes, sir.
Blake, keep doing that.
Take me to movies. I don't know how many times we can
buy me food, Blake.
Thor Ragnarok.
That's such a good movie, though.
It is.
It really was a good movie. I really enjoyed it.
Thor, the first one in the Dark World. Don't watch them. You don't need to.
I saw the first one, and it's such a different Marvel. Not to like super tangent, but I feel like the first Thor is such a different Thor than like the Ragnarok Thor.
Oh yeah.
So but I know Ragnarok was supposed to be specifically different, but just Thor in the Avengers or something like that.
I do think it's interesting though, because it does show like both in movie styles and in character a growth, both in universe and out of universe.
For sure.
So.
All right, but we're not gonna
Marvel after this.
Yeah,
right?
well. Okay. Any other blessed things that you could think of?
No, help a brother out.
There you go. All right. Coworker calling me fat, but the irony here is she is triple my size. I had a coworker recently who called me fat at work. She is triple my size. I am on the slim side and she is overweight. Yet she called me fat. I didn't call her out on it, and I just pretended not to hear it. Why would someone do this? I am confused. Just never really had it happen. I usually get skinny shamed, but I never got fat shamed by an overweight individual. blah, 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 blah. I wish I called her out on it. Why did this happen?
You got a quintessential bully, dude. So bullies pick on people because of their own self.
What? Adults can be bullied at work? That's a thing?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Bullies are still a thing outside of high school?
Oh, yeah. High school never ends. Yeah, you've got a bully. That's someone that's self-conscious about themselves and is trying to make themselves feel better. Don't take it personally.
Maybe she meant PHAT. Dang, she's fat.
Like hip and hop and hippity hop?
What? Okay. Or that, sure. Or that. In which case, say thank you.
True. I don't know. I think maybe, and again, call back to social etiquette, right? So, maybe I guess more context of what were you eating, something like really fattening? So is that maybe what prompted? And because, oh boy, I'm not gonna go on a super tangent here, but I definitely know some people who are it's gonna sound bad, but Blake already said something bad, so I can say something bad as well. For the attention seekers, there are some people who are just kind of socially autistic, and
how's that bad?
It's, I don't know. I feel like
I would say inept. They don't
socially inept.
Get social cues. Yeah.
Well, but even I guess I'd have to. I don't know really this classic definition of what inept would be, and if it relates
let's stick
to
with autistic. I like where this is going.
It's because you know when you're on. You're right. I'm the bad guy now. Let's make jokes about me. Because when you're autistic, they're definitely like, even if you have a form of Asperger's or something like that, you definitely don't reading a room and being able to know when the conversation is over and being able to move on from that. I think that is a scientifically proven, I guess, side effect of having this disease. So, anyways, definitely know some people that will just if you're like, for example, if you're eating a pizza and it's greasy and it's gross and it's got extra sausage and extra whatever, that person would say, wow, you are being a pig right now, or something along those lines. I know at one point, and goodness gracious me, I got mixed up between Marvel and DC. Like we were talking about comics.
Unbelievable.
And she totally went off and was just like, what? You don't know the difference? Blah, blah, blah. Like totally calling me out on it. And it's like, okay. We're
back up.
We're having dinner, and there are other people here. So like, let's chill out for a second. This is not as drastic as, and you've definitely
not that big of a deal.
Not evaluated the situation correctly. Obviously, I didn't say that. I just said, oh, whoopsie, my bad. I'm the goofball. Which I think is a lot of my reactions to her, because if you challenge her on it, oh boy. But anyways, not gonna.
I want to meet this woman.
No. Never gonna happen.
I would have a lot of fun.
Never, ever. Anyways,
what is the difference?
I don't even remember what was the question. Oh, the being fat chain.
Context matters, because
that's true. Yeah,
a comment of she's been looking kind of fat lately, or was it like this bitch is fat?
Yeah, or something like that.
I don't know. Like, context matters.
No, for sure.
If you're not fat, you got nothing to worry about.
It's also I think you shouldn't worry about it, because if it's staying internally within the workplace and she's not like texting you at 2 a.m, hey fatty, what are you doing, fatty?
Is she stealing your lunch money? Is that why she is
that why she's fat?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is a little bit of a long one.
Are you just like going through the top things?
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through Reddit right now.
Vetted these?
No, I've definitely. If I vetted some of them, we definitely would have answered some questions about like moms dying or something like that. No, I mean, yeah, Blake, we've talked about some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Here's an interesting one. The other one was a little stupid.
Let it rip.
Dad wants me on vacation during the first week of college. I just started college this week. So far, it's been going pretty well. I'd gotten a grant for tuition, and I'm super excited for the classes I signed up for. The problem is, my dad wants me to miss Friday of the first week, this coming Friday. And I guess we can just apply it. So obviously this is not going to be on time when we're answering it to at any point in time. So just skipping a Friday.
Got it.
And this is the first lab day of my engineering class. I've been told I guess it does apply specifically to the first day. So we'll keep it first day. I've been told that missing for my, God, I can't read. What is it? Shut up, Blake. I've been told that missing classes of the first week of school can lead to the professor dropping you for others on the wait list, and I've seen it on the syllabus for my philosophy class. I didn't want to risk that happening, but my dad won't take it lightly, as he really wants me to meet his uncle and some and has some anger issues when things don't go his way. He thinks college still has the same policies when he went so many years ago, and lectures can be turned into online work in the snap of a finger. What should I do? So great. So totally jumbled up. Real quick, we'll synopsis. First week of school, missing a Friday, gonna miss a couple classes. He's afraid that could get you dropped, but dad is not very handling it. So how do you handle dad?
Well, first off, talk to your teacher. If you are going to have to end up missing it, let your teacher know, because then they'll know you at least are aware of taking initiative, and whatnot. That's my advice. Talk to your teacher.
Oh, that's it. And so what happens if your teacher is just like, nah,
dipshit?
Then you have to prioritize and figure out what's more important.
Okay. Any tips? Any tips on priority? You can't just say
that. Which one, Cole?
Yeah.
No,
how do you
that's
prioritize?
A very personal thing.
Well, I mean,
that is a very personal
then
thing.
how would you? Then I guess don't make the decision for him, but what would you do to try and if you were faced in this conundrum? How would you break down the good and bad
and
evaluate?
know that this could affect your entire school career and yada yada yada. And
okay.
If he doesn't get that, then you either go, he clearly doesn't care about my stuff.
Okay.
And then you decide, like I said, which is more important.
Well, my main point was do you have any methods that help you for that? Like, is there an activity that you do?
Love me and respect me and
make a top and bottom.
Top 5, bottom 5.
No, you gotta discuss it with them beyond. Oh, it'll affect my like. You need to sit there and say, listen, this isn't how things work. If you don't
pal.
get that, if they
man.
If they don't get that, then there's a different issue. Like I said, that they don't really maybe they're not
You're a peacock and you gotta let them fly.
Okay. Blake, anything?
No, that was it. That was mine.
Okay. Do you have any go-to decision making processes?
Yeah, I look at it from a business, very logical standpoint. So, do I love my dad? Absolutely. Do I cherish every chance I get to spend with my dad? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad growing up was always very school first, and then we'll have time to do whatever afterwards. But in this case, it's almost flip-flopped. So yeah, I would just have to look at it as a business decision. Your dad is your college career that you've spent potentially thousands of dollars for is in my opinion, because you can go visit as long as after that first week you're fine.
Sure.
So I go visit sometime after that.
Okay. Try and compromise or something like that.
If you can't compromise, talk to your teacher. Because a lot of college teachers, at least the ones I've known, are pretty lax. If you don't show up, it may cause an issue. But if you let them know ahead of time and explain the situation, say, look, I can't miss this thing with my dad. And I know this is bad for starting off school, but I don't have a choice.
And then of course, and then if you go and say, look, can I redo this some other time? Can I take it privately beforehand? Right. If you earlier, on the previous day on a Thursday or something, then you can. That helps the negotiation definitely for a professor. All right, so we've got one more, and then we will jump to the top and bottom. It's kind of a short blurb. There's I guess a lot of added information. Yeah. So the title is "A Friend of Mine is Racist." So we'll just picture. The best way to do is just picture a traditional racist who drops the N-word with a hard R and is pro Southern Confederacy and just your traditional white power. He goes on to say, we both have lived in a diverse area our entire lives, but somehow we see the world very differently. I try to spend time when they go ranting about a person's race to shift the conversation towards a more positive outlook on the situation and how every person is an individual. I feel disgusted by the language I heard, and I still can't believe it really happened. He's talking in reference of a situation where he said lots of slurs. I think that leaving the situation alone will not do anything good. How do I get this person to see things differently?
You want to start, or can I?
Cole, you go ahead.
All right, I have two simple things.
Okay.
You try to educate them politely, or if you're close enough with them, impolitely and more aggressively.
Sure.
Because I have a friend, or I had a friend. I have a friend. Now this is getting off topic.
Wait, Cole, you have a friend?
Who What I wouldn't say it was
wish I had a friend.
racist, but had some skewed views.
Okay.
And I knew him well enough that I could talk aggressively with him. And I
Okay.
explained all this stuff, and he didn't get it at first. But as I did what like they did, I tried to skew conversations in a more positive way, but I did it way more aggressively. And
Okay.
I eventually he got it. He doesn't necessarily see exactly my way, but he gets it. And
Okay.
his views have been changed from a less negative view to a more neutral view, which
Okay.
is
It's
the
progress
best I can
of
get.
something, yeah.
And if that kind of stuff doesn't work with this person
Mhm.
and they value their own morals and like this is really causing an issue,
Drop
you
him.
may have to drop them.
Really?
You may have, unless you are
Yeah.
fine with being friends with a racist and having people say, "Hey, your friend's racist," and you getting associated with that because that can
Okay.
happen.
Well, I mean,
And-
couldn't you like change the friendship and more to a let's just hang out in private sort of?
But do you want to hang out with a racist?
And I guess that's where kind of the distinction has to be made is, at what is it always dominating the conversation?
Right.
Is it something always like if you see someone who he'd be racist to in a movie, is that going to be called out? Is that going to be a thing? There's all sorts of things. I think as long as there's no like he doesn't go to any rallies or does anything crazy or something like that, then I think that still the friendship door can kind of be open. Maybe to a point of just texting, sharing memes, something like that.
It could be.
You could reduce it to a casual level. I mean, I've said before, and I'll say it again. I just have problems making a clean cut. So if it's gonna be we just might not talk for a while, and then a few years down the road, I'll check up on you and see if you're so racist. But one thing also, and again, I know I've said this before, but I think it's important to make. And I even said it today when I was talking to you, Cole, is when you're debating somebody and whether or not it's an extreme conversation or it's just a simple what movie do you want to see, whatever it is, you always have to fight within the opponent's world in the realm of thinking.
or bring them into yours.
But that won't work.
It
Because
worked for me.
Well, okay, in certain situations,
He's
I
a
guess it
master
could work.
debater,
Yeah,
then.
he is a master debater. But what I've seen is when you have someone rooted firmly in their belief, you're going to have a hell of a harder time to get them uprooted and into your world and saying, okay, I know you view things this way, but here's how they actually should work. And then let's debate it like that versus, okay, you think the sky is purple. Okay, that's fine. The sky is purple. So now let's logically try and deconstruct your argument within the frame of your thoughts.
I get that's what I
Right.
did to bring my friend to neutral.
Mhm.
Then-
Okay.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying.
Right. And so I think that's very important. I think that's seriously why we have a lot of problems in politics now, and we have a lot of the screaming at people to suppress their views and opinions. I think that's why we have a lot of discourse in the current discussion of a lot of social issues. It's just we're not arguing or we're not even debating things correctly. I think there's not a lot of respect being shown on either side, and unfortunately that's just kind of the monster that we're fighting. Is when you have such a quote unquote evil person in this guy's perception, how are you going to battle with the devil? Well, you're going to want to shut the devil down. So, but that's not necessarily the great. I'm totally tangenting right now, but go ahead, Cole.
Well, and then this comes to the other thing. Depends on the level of friendship and how much you care about this person, but is it worth your time and energy to even do that?
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely have to, pros, cons, what's good, what's
Right.
worth keeping up with. Blake, anything? You've been pretty quiet.
Yeah, I
Something
got
you're
some down
racist?
home racism in my family.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at it as you don't get to choose your family, but you do get to choose your friends.
You get to pick your nose while driving your lanes that you picked. Right?
Elegantly put, so
Thank
elegant.
You could adopt yourself into a
You
new
can
family.
pick your friends and you can
Yeah.
pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose.
Well, so here's the thing. Like I said, you don't get to choose your family. So if Uncle Donnie starts going on his Obama rants at Thanksgiving, it's time to go outside and grab a beer and just let him tucker himself
Sure.
out so he can fall asleep in the recliner. There's no he's 58 years old. I'm not changing his mind.
Right.
But you have a friend who I talk too much about the political sphere to not have somebody acknowledge their own. So like if If Cole, how about this? Yuval, since you're my best friend. If you were racist, no offense, Cole. I don't.
Boom. Blake's an asshole.
I'll just leave. It's fine.
If you were racist, I would have found that out within the first month I knew you.
Yes, very much.
And that's plenty of time for me to say, I'm not going to hang out with Yuval anymore.
Right.
I've never had a friend that we were watching a Denzel movie and him
Suddenly
just go,
it's like,
wow, this blank word can really act. I'm like, wait, what?
Hold
back
on,
up. What was that?
Yeah.
Like, I've never had that happen.
Right.
I know if somebody is racist or homophobic before.
So you've totally vetted them way before.
Yeah, before I make that commitment to, all right, you're one of the bros.
Well, so what happened? So I guess last bit on this, since we're running a little close to the time, for what if it's a sleeper and you just a year down the road, it's just you, because the conversation never came up, it was never talked about.
In which that case,
would you be open to the cutting ties option?
I'll talk to him.
Okay,
like for sure. First, I'll let them know, hey, take the racism. Side of it, like that's something very easy to disprove.
Okay,
like racism has no basis in biology or in
for sure, right?
Like
it's
very
scientific...
easy. It's very easy to say you're fucking wrong,
right?
And here's why you're wrong.
And they just go, "Who cares? I hate insert blank."
Right.
All right. It was nice to meet you, John.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind.
That's very fair. All right, so that is going to be it for the podcast today. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all of the updates and information. Blake, we'll do that. We'll do a segment for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll just get this in a separate segment just because we're definitely over the time. So definitely look out for Blake's top and bottom. And I guess thank you guys so much for being on the podcast. And
thank you.
Thank you for having
everyone
me.
who's listening. Thank you so much. Leave a like, comment, anything that we've talked about today. Definitely feel free to, shout it out or give us your feedback or anything like that. I love reading it, and I'll definitely share it to whoever it is directed towards, if it's directed towards them.
Do you want to tackle the masturbation thing first?
I guess yeah. Okay, all right, that's fine. Go ahead. Go.
Okay,
so.
Sharon, you referenced that masturbation does not kill sperm count. I was referencing an article about testosterone levels and men falling by 1% per year. And a lot of that is basically hypothetical now. So we're wondering, the article was about wondering why sperm or testosterone is falling. And a lot of that was based on masturbation and porn. And so it was brought up.
It was bonus content that was brought up. So we got to make some clarifications. You got
to clear it up, Sharon.
We goofed. we did a goof.
That's what I was referencing, the fallen testosterone.
All right. And that is a perfect way to end the podcast. So everybody have a great day, night, or whenever you're listening to this podcast.